Hello, I'm Nirvar Khalsa. This is Yoga for Relaxation. Come on, sit down, let's do some yoga. Okay, let's start right away with our tune-in mantra. Create our best learning experience, to be able to avail ourselves of that energy and that information that exists outside of us, and to really draw on the best of ourselves from the inside out. Ong Namo, salutations to the teaching force outside. Guru Dev Namo, recognition of the internal wisdom. Ru means darkness, Ru means lightness. Anything that takes you from lightness, from darkness to lightness is Guru. Okay, palms together now at the heart center. Sit up tall, chest high, chin level. Eyes closed, focused at the brow point. Remember, we'll take deep breaths through the nose. 3 repetitions of this mantra. Concentrate within, to the core of your being on the first repetition. Second repetition, spread yourself out, expand yourself. And the third repetition, balance the two of inner and outer. Inhale deeply. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Inhale. And exhale, relax the breath and relax the hands. Okay, let's stretch. Both legs out in front. Hold on to the left leg. Keep this shin parallel to the ground, foot close to the chest, and now roll the ankle. Good, other side. Okay, now left knee to the right shoulder. Remember, take it easy with this warm-up stretching. We're just holding them for short periods of time to loosen up and warm the body and get the energy moving in the body. Other side. If you want to do this series at home by yourself when we're not doing it on tape, you can spend a little bit more time on those areas where you feel like you need a bit more flexibility or range of motion. Now butterfly. This particular exercise, butterfly, is really good if when you sit down your knees are way up near, you don't have that hip and lower back flexibility. This will help you to get it. Good. Now left leg out in front. Catch something, can be the shin, the ankle, or the foot. Other side. Okay, now left foot by the left hip. Keep the top of the foot on the ground. Lean back on the hands, knees together. Equal weight on the hands. Other side. And switch again. This time lift the left hip. Keep the shoulders back. Other side. You may notice that on different class days, this exercise series feels a little bit different. Well, you have different needs at different times of day and on different days. Good. Now butterfly pose. It's kind of nice to have a warm-up series like this where really everything is affected, so that kind of no matter what kind of condition you're in, you know you're going to, get to it sometime during this series. Okay, keep the soles of the feet together, and now lie down flat on your back. Just let gravity pull the knees apart, have the arms by the sides. Okay, knees up, feet flat. Have the lower back against the carpet by tilting the pelvis. Good. Cross the left leg over the right, all the way over. Bring the knees down to the left side of the body. And switch, right over left, knees to the right. Okay, knees up, feet flat. Hands in a basket now, behind the head. Lift the head up off the ground. Feel the stretch behind the neck and in between the shoulder blades. And now head down. Keep the hands behind the head. Have the elbows against the ground, shoulder blades together, chest high. Okay, legs flat. Stretch the arms up overhead on the ground. Stretch up. Point the toes away from the body. Okay, now knees to the chest. Head up, nose between the knees, hands on the shins. Rock a few times on the spine and rock yourself up. Cow pose. Spine's pressed down, head's arched back. And now cat. Come out of position. Sit cross-legged, hands in a basket, stretch up, push out, 60 degrees. Straight up. Good. Catch the right hand, lean left and pull left. Other hand, other side. Now straighten up, right hand on the left elbow behind the head. Other side. Hands in a basket behind the head, elbows back, chest out. And relax the arms down. Okay, now bring the right hand on the left elbow and stretch the arm across the chest. Other side. Good. Relax the arms down. Now roll the head. Large, slow, smooth circle in one direction. Reverse. And bring the head upright. You know what's next, right? Okay, I'll count it down. 3, 2, 1, lion face. Okay, good. Hey, just the other day I was looking at myself in the mirror, which I do on a regular basis. But, you know, it was that first look in the morning. And usually, I think probably what I tend to focus on very first thing are my eyes. I tend to look at my eyes more than anything else in the mirror. But you do tend to kind of spot focus on things. You know, you're looking if you're having a good hair day or a bad hair day, or you're, you know, looking at any blemishes you might have, or just whatever it may be. How tired you think you look, so you focus on, you know, what's happening underneath your eyes or that kind of thing. But just for that moment, I looked at myself and I saw the whole thing. I just didn't look at one part. I saw my entire face, and it seemed a bit strange to me, you know, because I'm used to just looking at pieces of my face. And I thought to myself, who is that middle-aged man? It was me, of course, but I actually don't relate, you know, to myself as being middle-aged or being any age for that matter. Matter of fact, I feel kind of young all the time. But it was interesting to kind of get that particular picture. It reminds me of a story that one time there was an old woman, and she was walking through a village, which was rather quite small. You know, it wasn't a big walk to go through the village. And she happened upon some children that were playing underneath a tree beside the road. And, you know, they were just having fun and goofing around with each other. And one of the children, you know, looked up and saw the old woman, and they kind of nudged the other children. They all kind of stopped and looked at her as she was walking by. And the old woman greeted them and said, "Hello, children, how are you?" And one, you know, particularly bold and precocious child spoke up and said, "Nice to see you. Have you always been this old and ugly?" You know how children can be. And the grandmother, the older woman, smiled and just said, "No, dear, I was once young and beautiful just like you. Now go along and play." And it didn't really bother her, because she knew how children can be, until the next morning when she woke up and she looked at herself in the mirror. And all she could see as she was looking at herself in the mirror was that her youth and beauty had fled. You know, she just saw the bags under the eyes, the crow feet, the wrinkled skin, and the look of age. Perhaps the wisdom in the eyes, but that's not what she was looking at, the gained wisdom. It was how age had settled on her face. And she was thinking to herself just at that particular time, gee, I guess I am old and ugly. And just at that moment, her husband, and they'd been married for many, many, many years, walked up behind her and looked at her in the mirror over her shoulder. And the woman said, her husband said, "Well, what do you see?" And the woman said, "Well, I guess I see an old, tired, and ugly woman." And the husband looked at her, you know, kind of being a little bit surprised, because he knew the upbringing that she had had, that, you know, she had a beautiful upbringing. It was reinforced by her parents and her environments, that it's the inner beauty that shines through the face, and that she grew up in graceful and dignified and respectful and loving environments. So he's a little bit surprised to hear that. And so he looked at her and he says, "Self-doubt is ugly, isn't it?" And she poked him in the ribs and said, "How'd you get so smart?" So if you're doubting yourself at this particular time, you know, if you don't feel like you're kind of up to par with this yoga, it's probably just not true. I think that you're doing fine, you know. Just the other day, a yoga student that I had when she was young, you know, as a college student, came back and took the class at the university 11 years later. And she walked up to me after class and said, you know, gee, I took your class 11 years ago, do you remember me? And actually I didn't, you know, because so many changes occurred during the 11-year period, I didn't remember her. And she said, yes, I was in your class 11 years ago, and I'm finding it a little bit easier now than I did the first time. And I said, yeah, the more you do, the easier it comes. That's usually what I say. And I said, I'm sorry I didn't remember you because, you know, you've changed. She says, yes, I've changed a lot. I've got a job. I've got a family now. But, you know, you haven't changed a bit. And I said, sure I have. You know, got this gray hair. I've changed a lot in that period of time. And she said, no, you look exactly the same to me as you did 11 years ago. And I said to myself, thank goodness for yoga. Because, you know, not only does, you know, that feeling of youth that you have, you may not look particularly young, but the feeling of youth and vitality that you have that can come through, you know, unmasking that armoring, you know, and relieving yourself on a regular basis of that stress and tension that you've collected over the years does come forth, you know. It does come forth through your face, it comes forth through your body, and you feel younger if you do yoga on a regular basis. So let's do some now. We're going to do some more stretching, a little bit different stretch to begin with today, and that is a wide leg stretch. This wide leg stretch not only works on the life nerve, but it works on a nerve that runs on the inner upper part of the thigh. And these nerves are, the yogis refer to as nadis, or nerve channels, and they call this nerve sex nerve, all right? This particular stretch is really good for stretching out the hips, will help regulate the sexual system, and also your elimination as well. If you find yourself constipated, walking more on a daily basis, drinking more water, eating more natural type foods that have various, you know, different kinds of soluble and insoluble fiber, and this wide leg stretch can really help you. Okay, so let's do it. Stretch the legs out wide now in front of you. Now what we're going to do is we're going to stretch over the left leg, like the moon side, like we did before. So stretch forward, then down over the left leg, and now hold this position. Keep this foot at a right angle to the ground, and do slow, deep breathing. Now, even though you're squashed up a little bit here, we learned long, slow, deep breathing at the end of last class, and I'd like you to employ that just at that same pace. You're inhaling through your nose, you're exhaling through your nose, you're using that diaphragm. Slow the breath down to about 6 breaths a minute. And just like with the isolated front stretch that we did before when we had one foot inside the thigh, follow that same routine where you help yourself to relax into it, and as you feel more comfortable, you can stretch a bit more in that direction of forward then down. Just take it easy, take your time. We'll be doing this for probably another minute. Inhale, and exhale, slowly rise up, and then now let's switch sides. Hold on to something. It can be the shin or the ankle or the foot. Stretch forward, then down. Hold the position, slow, deep breathing. If you're more flexible on one side or the other, just make note of it. Remember, the whole right side of the body is the sun side, your outgoing self, your outer projected self. The whole left side of the body is the moon side, your inner self, your emotional self, how you see your own and feel your own self from the inside. One more minute. Inhale deeply. And exhale, rise up. Leave the legs wide. What we're going to do now is stretch in the center. Be careful with this one. Don't overstretch. You can either have your hands on the ground in front of you, or you can bring your hands down onto the shins or the foot. And once again, you want to stretch forward and down. We're not trying to just dive our nose to the ground. Still stretching forward, then down. Okay? Come into position, stretch forward, then down, hold the position, and do slow, deep breathing. Just take it easy, take your time. Use the slow breath. Help yourself to relax into it by just determining within your own self where you're feeling the stretch. Gently command those parts of the body where you're feeling the stretch to relax. And as you feel more comfortable, you can stretch a bit more. But use that slow breath to help you relax more and more. "30 seconds more. Inhale. And exhale, slowly rise up. Now very carefully bring the legs together in front of you. And now lie down flat on your back. And really let the legs relax. Just feel the tension flowing off the legs as you're resting on the back. And once again, practice relaxing quickly and effectively. Really let all the muscles go fast. Allow the body to rebalance. Check yourself for changes, physical, mental, and emotional. Okay, good. Draw the knees up to the chest, rock a few times on the spine, back and forth, and now rock yourself up. Okay, sitting cross-legged, bring the hands on the knees. We're going to do a lower spine exercise. It's great for the hips, good for the waist, reducing the size of the waist and all the glands and organs around the waist, and also for loosening up the lower back. And it's a grinding motion like this. Okay, so go ahead, begin grinding with normal breath. Roll back from the hips, roll out to one side. Keep the chin level in both positions. Chest is up high as you go forward. Collapse the chest as you go back. and continue. This is a great digestion and elimination exercise as well. Very good. Reverse direction. Go the other way. Come upright, inhale, and exhale, very good. Usually we work from the lower part of the body to the upper part of the body, and you can probably feel that now. We've done a good workout and good stretching on the lower part of the body. Our next exercise will be a back bending exercise. We've done some forward bending exercises. This will be a back bending exercise called Cobra Pose. Now, Cobra Pose is wonderful for opening up the whole mid part of the body, the lower back and throughout the entire spine, opening up the heart center. It's particularly good for the kidneys and the adrenal glands. And the yogis say that if you do Cobra Pose on a regular basis, you'll never get arthritis in your spine. And what I'd like to do before we all do it, before Gary and Laura do it with me, is to demonstrate exactly how it's done for you. Okay, you're going to start off on the stomach, and you're going to have the chin on the ground and the hands underneath and slightly forward of the shoulders. Fingers pointing forward, elbows against the side, and heels touching. What you'll do is you'll inhale and raise the chin up, chest up, and then you'll smoothly push yourself up until you feel you're able to adjust yourself. And what I want you to do is to adjust your hands forward or back, keeping the hands about shoulder width apart and the fingers pointing forward. Now, the exact place to put your hands is really up to you. What I would like you to do is to have them in a position so that you can keep the elbows a little bit bent. What I want you to avoid is having the elbows locked straight in close to the body like this for a couple of reasons. One, it puts way too much pressure on the lower back, and two, it tends to shove the shoulders up to the ears and you collect more shoulder tension than you need to in this position. So I'd rather have you have the hands out a little bit further from the body so the elbows can be bent just a little bit so that you can roll the shoulders back and down and distribute the stretch throughout the whole spine instead of just in the lower back. Now, if you need to with this exercise, it's okay to rest on your forearms like this. And you'll want to adjust your forearms forward or back just in the right position so that you can still feel the stretch throughout the whole spine and through the chest as well. The chin should be at least level to the ground and maybe slightly tilted back a little bit. Now, if you can, I want you to keep your heels touching. If the feet come a little bit apart, that's okay. But I want you to avoid having them way spread apart. As close as you can get them together is the best. Now, when you come out of the posture, you come out just the opposite way. You come down, keeping the head back, belly, chest, and then chin. Okay? Let's do it. Okay, Gary, Laura, and everybody out there, hands underneath, slightly forward of the shoulders, chin on the ground, legs together. Okay, now inhale, lift the head up, chest up, smoothly push yourself up, and now get yourself adjusted. Hands are shoulder width apart, elbows a little bit bent, shoulders rolled back and down. Make sure your whole pelvic area is on the ground. I don't want you just lifted up on your hands and your knees. Legs together as much as possible. Chin up, at least level to the ground, and maybe slightly tilted back. Hold this position now and do slow, deep breathing. Now we're going to hold this for a little bit longer than a minute. If during the posture you would like to adjust yourself, that's fine. You can bring the hands in closer to the body a little bit, or more than likely you want to take some pressure off the back and you can walk the hands out away from the body. Even if you rest on the forearms, that's perfectly okay. Then adjust your forearms so that really you can get that evenly distributed stretch throughout the whole spine. Keep the breath slow and deep, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Keep the eyes closed, follow the breath. Feel what you're doing. How does it feel in the body? How is it changing you? How is the exercise progressing? Very good. 30 seconds more. Keep going. If you keep this breath slow and deep, you can feel that your diaphragm chest stretching and your chest opening up. Now inhale deeply. Now exhale, come out of position the opposite way. Keep the head back, belly comes down first, then chest, and then chin, and then turn the head to the side, and have the arms by the sides, hands by the ankles, palms up, and just rest a moment. We don't get much opportunity to rest on the stomach. We're usually resting on our back in yoga. So take this opportunity now just to survey the body. It's really a good position to be in, to have the body to speak to you. And it will. It'll let you know when you're in this position exactly where you're holding the tension in the body. So quickly now mentally survey the body from the feet all the way up to the head and just determine where you're holding your tension. Parts of the body that feel tight or uncomfortable. Is it the feet? Is it the legs? Is it the calves? Is it the knees? Is it the thighs, the buttocks, the abdomen? Maybe a little tight in the abdomen, some indigestion. Stomach, rib cage, lower back, middle back, upper back, hands, arms, shoulders, neck, face. It'll help you learn about yourself. And if you can get into this habit to really knowing yourself and where you're collecting your tension, then you'll know what to do about it once you learn the tools of yoga. Good, inhale. And exhale. What I want you to do is push yourself up into baby pose now, but stretch your arms out in front of the body, just to kind of stretch the back out the other way. So you can stretch out the shoulders and the lower back. And now slowly rise up, come off the knees and heels, straighten the legs out in front of you straight. And we're going to do something called a half spinal twist. This one's a lot of fun. It actually feels really good on the back. It's good for the spine, the waist, the shoulders, and the nerve channels on the either side of the spine and the central nerve channel. And it's kind of a neat posture because you really look like a yogi when you're doing it. Okay, we're going to start with the left knee up like this. Keep this right leg out straight. Now cross this left knee over the right leg. Okay? Now take this left hand and place it on the ground all the way left, back, and behind you. And now take this right arm and wrap it on the outside or hold on to the right knee. Best if you can wrap the forearm on the outside of the right thigh. Straighten up now and turn the head all the way left. Keep the chin level to the ground. Hold this position and do slow, deep breathing. Thirty seconds more. Inhale. And exhale, slowly untwist. Good, now let's switch sides. Stretch the legs out. This time bring the right knee up. Cross it over the left leg. Bring the right hand on the ground all the way right down and behind you. Left arm gets wrapped around the outside of the right thigh. Straighten up, chin all the way right. Hold the position. Keep the chin level. Slow, deep breathing. Begin. Thirty seconds more. Inhale. And exhale, slowly untwist. And now come sitting comfortably cross-legged. Just rest a moment with the hands on the knees. Normal breath. Okay, bring the hands on the knees and grasp the knees. What we're going to do is a shoulder shrugging exercise. You're going to inhale and shrug the shoulders up to the ears, and exhale, drop them down. You can go at any pace you'd like, from rapid to slow. Okay, inhale, shoulders up, exhale them down. Begin. "30 seconds more." Inhale, shrug the shoulders up. Hold the breath in. Exhale, roll the shoulders back and down. Inhale, roll the shoulders forward and up. Exhale, roll the shoulders back and down. Inhale, roll the shoulders forward and up. Exhale, roll the shoulders back and down. Very good. Okay, keep the hands at the knees, but place them in Gyan Mudra. Mudras are hand positions. We know this mudra already. It's called Pranam Mudra for balancing the sun and moon side of the body. These different positions, like the OK sign here, this is called Gyan Mudra, and it stimulates a certain part of the brain that's associated with being wise and also memory as well. So what I want you to do is to press the index finger and thumb together and place the hands at the knees. So, if possible, you can straighten out the elbows and make yourself into this perfect triangle pyramid shape. Having the arms like this really helps to support the upper part of the body, so you can keep that lower back tucked in and you can free up the diaphragm to move. Because what we're going to do is do a little bit of slow, deep breathing now in coordination with the head movement. We're going to turn the head slowly to the left, keeping the chin level on the inhale, and we're going to turn the head slowly to the right on the exhale. It's a slow motion and it's a slow breath. What I'd like you to do is really concentrate at the brow point. Half an inch up from the eyebrows, half an inch out from the forehead. And on the inhale, think Sat. On the exhale, think Nam. Linking that mantra up with a movement or with the breath is a very safe, fast, and easy way centering and focusing the mind, especially if it's scattered. Okay, inhale, turn the head to the left, think Sat. Exhale, turn the head to the right, think Nam, and continue. Sat means truth or light, Nam means identity or existence. Feel that as you turn the head. As the head goes to the left, feel that you're filled with light. As the head goes to the right, you think Nam. Make and create that as your identity. Inhale, face forward. And exhale, relax the breath. And now moving slowly and smoothly, come out of position, straighten out your legs, and lie down flat on your back. Have the arms by the sides, palms up, eyes are gently closed, breath is soft and normal. We'll deeply relax now. Remember to let the breath relax, and once again we'll practice that tension and release method of deep relaxation. And this you can do before you go to bed at night, whenever you really want to let the tension go from the body and rejuvenate yourself. And it's a good idea to do this at the end of any practice of yoga that you might do. Okay, let's first work on the feet. Press the toes away from the body. And now release. Now bring the toes back to the head. And release. Now press the backs of the knees against the carpet, tighten the thighs, and release. Now tighten the muscles in the legs and the buttocks, and release. Now tilt the pelvis so that the lower back is flat against the carpet, and release. Okay, now make tight fists out of the hands and release. Now bring the fingertips up on the shoulders, make a bicep muscle, and release, arms down. Okay, now shrug the shoulders forward across the body, across the chest, and release. And pinch the shoulder blades together back behind the back, lifting the chest up. And release. Okay, now shrug the shoulders up to the ears. And release. Settle the shoulders in. Keeping the head on the ground, bring the chin down towards the collarbone. Release. Keeping the head on the ground, lift the chin up and back. And release. Okay, make a tight, angry face now. Really scrunch up the whole face, the brow, the nose, the mouth. Good, release. Okay, gently turn the head from side to side now, keeping the head on the ground as though you're trying to find a comfortable place for the head. And now find that place and relax the head and neck. Now take a deep inhale. And exhale, relax the breath, relax this body. Totally and completely relax. Exhale. Bring yourselves back. Feel the body. Roll the hands and roll the feet. Turn them in small circles. And now stretch the arms up overhead. Big stretch up. Twist the body from side to side. Bend one knee, twist the torso over the straight leg. Now the other side. Good, now rub the hands together, rub the soles of the feet together vigorously. And draw the knees up to the chest, rock a few times on the spine, and rock yourself up. How is that? Feel pretty good? Yoga does make you feel great. It's amazing how well it works in such a short period of time and how simple and effective it can be. Well, I'd like to review some long, slow, deep breathing with you that we did last class. And we'll do breathing just through one nostril and then through the other nostril for now. As I said before, the yogis divide the body in half. The left side's the moon side, the right side is the sun side. When you breathe just through your left nostril, it will access the right brain hemisphere. And when you breathe through your right nostril, it will access the left brain hemisphere. So when you do just left nostril breathing, it slows you down, it cools you, and it makes you a bit more circular in your thinking. When you breathe through your right nostril, it will heat you up, make you extroverted, enthusiastic, and make you very logical and linear in your thinking. So what I want to do now, just to practice that, is about 30 seconds of breathing through the left nostril for 30 seconds, and then through the right nostril for 30 seconds. So sit up tall. Now take your hand and close off the right nostril. And sit up tall. Now, if this left nostril is really closed shut, don't suffocate on me here. Let a little air in through the right. Okay, inhale deeply through the left. Exhale through the left. Inhale, relax the diaphragm down and out. Inhale into the upper chest. And exhale. Continue. Good, now switch hands and switch nostrils. Breathing through the right nostril. Inhale deeply. And exhale. Relax the hand. Okay, now you have that idea. Practice that before the next class, but do 3 minutes of breathing through the left nostril at one time, and then do 3 minutes of breathing through the right nostril. And we'll review that next class. Meantime, palms together at the heart center. Pick out that person you'd like to help or heal or resolve a conflict with. As you see them, as you feel them, have them at their best, their healthiest, their happiest. Inhale deeply. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on. Sat Nam. Inhale, bend forward from the waist, hands on the ground, touch the forehead to the ground. Exhale, come up, relax your hands. Thanks for coming. Sat Nam.